Heineken has been brewing for 151 years. Corey has been brewing for 9 months. Can I recreate the world's most valuable beer brand? And can my friends tell the difference? My biggest challenge for this beer is aiming for that picturesque clarity and trying to recreate some of the same flavors that they have without using their yeast. So I'm starting with 5 liters of water, 970 grams of Pilsner malt, and 20 grams of Carapils. First thing I'm going to do is get my water to 70 degrees Celsius. So when I add in my malted barley, it should drop down to about that 68 degree mark. I'll be honest, I'm as surprised as you. I didn't expect that to drop down instantly 10 degrees. That's nuts. Now we just leave that for an hour. So while this mashes, let's figure out our hops. I'm going to use 2.5 grams of Pride of Ringwood. You can use Northern Brewer if you don't have Pride of Ringwood. It's just what I have on hand. It's used for bittering. It'll do. 4.3 grams of Hallertau. My thing's not completely exact, so I'm just going to go with 5 grams. Round it up a little bit, give it a bit of extra zing. And then last 10 minutes of the boil, we're going to add in 1.7 grams of Hallertau. Again, just going to round it up, going to use 2 grams. Here's some fun facts about Heineken. I just Googled the value of Heineken. It's worth $51.19 billion. Hails from Amsterdam. I'm sure most people know that. But the thing is, your Heineken's probably not brewed in your country because it goes to 70 different countries. I know for a fact that here in Australia, it's brewed at Lion Nathan's Tooheys factory in the other state. What's the other state called? New South Wales. You know how there's a red star on the Heineken bottle? The brewers used to believe you hung that over your vat because it was earth, wind, fire, water, and the unknown 5th element may have been magic. That's actually, I like that fact, that's pretty good. Heineken has a secret A-yeast formula. I will also, in my brew, be using A-yeast.
That being said, I did end up going with Morgan's premium lager yeast. Once I chilled my wort, I took a reading and I was real happy to see that I nailed my OG.
So I'm going to let this ferment for about 2 weeks. I think what I've made is a bit too dark. So I'm going to try again and we'll see how we go. I'm going to concentrate a lot more on temperature this time. Every time I use this carboy, I always regret it because I've got to use the tube and gravity and it's just too much messing about. Always make a mess, so a little word of advice, use your dishwasher door, you can shut it and then it just washes itself. Let's check how it tastes. This may not be as dark as what I thought it was going to be. It has a good aroma. It actually tastes like it's on the way. This might actually work out to be the better one. My only problem is it's a little bit cloudy, so when I do my other one, I'm going to do some flocculant and whirlpool it and actually take out, leave the sediment behind. Going with 2 sticks of raw sugar this time because I think I under-conditioned my last brew. Didn't have enough beer to do a hydrometer test, so I'm using my refractometer. We've got 7 bricks or 1.028 for the SGA. So for the last one, I used Carapils mainly for head retention. I've switched it to Gladiator malt, so we'll see how we go with that. It should give it a bit of a lighter color. I mean, we're experimenting. We're trying to make the world's most valuable beer here. My goal is to get my water to about 70 degrees. So when I add in my malted barley and start stirring it in, hopefully that will drop it down to about 65, 66 degrees. And that should work well for that type of mash. I think 66 will do for now because as I stir it, it'll cool down to about 65. And that's what I want. Okay, so I've got 8 liters of water. I'm literally just gonna pour warm water over it until I hit 12 liters. 10 grams of Hallertau and Pride of Ringwood.
I should note that it was 5 grams of each.
In for an hour. Lucky last is the Hallertau, 5 grams. And they're in for the last 10 minutes. Small amount of flock. So all my flocks just ended up in it. Oh, to try and at least match the flavour of Heineken, I'm using a European ale yeast. So I'll whack in the whole bag of that. We'll see how we go. Oh, so close, 1.05. So it should be, if it's 1.05, it should be about 4.8% at a guess. Put that away for 2 weeks. See you then. So my second attempt at Heineken is ready. I've also had a shear in the time being, hence the continuity in my hair changing. When I added my flocculin in, I didn't realise this, but I meant to add it 10 minutes before the end of the boil. So that's my first mistake there. The scent of this beer is really fruity, like real fruity. And from what I'm aware, that's not usually how Heineken is. The malt flavour in this is pretty good. Bitterness is slim to none. It has a soapy flavour. I'm going to have to look that up. It's got like a soapiness to it.
Google says that the soapy flavour can occur from a breakdown of fatty acids in the trub.
God, I hope this clears up when I refrigerate it. Really, really hope. Guess what I recently learned, which I should have figured out a lot sooner? Put your sugar in first. It limits the amount of oxygen that goes into the beer. I am just using raw sugar for carbonation, by the way. But after 2 attempts, let's see how close I got it. Let's start with my first version. The issue I came across with my first version is that it kind of had the scent of green apples. Now, I've not done the worst. If you look at the colour difference, mine is a little bit darker. I'm surprised I've got clarity. Now, it is a little bit hazy. The issue I'm having is it smells like butterscotch, which means there's oxygen, like oxygen has gotten into it. That's interesting.
I think this won't be too nice to be Heineken.
This one I can taste the alcohol in. This one I cannot. I don't know if it's because I went one after the other. The aroma in mine's stronger, but not as good. The malt flavour is more prominent.
Really full-bodied, like texturally. It's really thick and creamy, and like it froths up in your mouth.
Mine doesn't blend together as well. So I can taste the malt, but I can separate the malt. It's sweet. It's still sweet. I don't reckon it's finished fermenting. And, I'll be honest, the head retention. Corey, what are you doing? Normally that's the one thing I absolutely nail. Holy smokes. Something I've noticed with some of my other home brews is that they're over-carbonated and then they start foaming straight away. It's not happening. This is good. I guess it means more carbon dioxide is dissolved into the beer. Happy about that. The clarity on this is fantastic. Mine's more... Mine's a paler colour, so this one's more golden. This one's more straw, I'd say. Fine bubbles. I got fine bubbles. I'm pretty impressed by that. It's really nice. And the clarity is really good. It smells the same as my other one. What is that? I get this scent in all my homebrews, and I'm like, I don't know if it's because of like oxygen getting very involved in the process of me making it. That's very thin. This tastes like watered down beer. If Heineken was a mid-strength, then I'd say this is what it would taste like. Look, I didn't nail it on the head. 2 goes, I got reasonably, I'm in the ballpark. I'll give it that. Other than when I gave it to my friends literally a week after it matured. Hence why this.
This is just, something's gone wrong in that. It's just like astringent and it's nasty. It's nasty.
Not the same.
I'm going to say that's Heineken.
Heineken is the master. They have been doing it a lot longer for me.
Yeah, well, I like this one best.
The most important question though is what do all 3 taste like together? This is what we in the industry call a blend. I don't hate that. It's kind of flat, but it's good. But if you are into your international beers and you like stouts, I've actually got a really good tutorial right here on how to make an Irish stout. Click away, and I'll see you again very, very shortly.